Hello and welcome to our channel, the Ministry of Real Truth. I am its host, and we are going to cover a number of websites, information that I've come across over the years through my personal research on the ancient Aramaic scriptures, the Old Testament and the New Testament, the Old of the Assyrian-Aramaic or Ktav Ashuri, the Lshana Atiqa or Lshana Suppraya, the sacred Old scribal tongue used by the Old Testament scribes and prophets. Okay, Breetah, I think, translated in Urhai, now modern Turkey, in around 800 BCE. Okay, not long after Jonah had visited the Assyrians in Nineveh and told them, "Watch out for the forthcoming wrath of God, because you are sinners and you need to repent." Okay, and then we have the American Bibles, modernized American or Americanized modern Bibles that you get today. They're all in the churches, and most people have got, if not all. The American Bible Societies and their lies. Okay. What else have we got? Yeah, all the Christian Bibles. Mauro Berglino, when he translated the Masoretic text, he's supposedly an expert in Ancient Aramaic, Hebrew, and maybe the Greek, I think, or maybe the Latin, because he's Italian. Unfortunately, he doesn't speak English too well, so he's going through a translator. And he was commissioned to translate the ancient Masoretic text for the Vatican. Right, they gave him a contract, they pay him, they publish his books, whatever, and then he does it, and he finds underneath, to his shock horror, completely different stories. It's like an onion, right? It had one layer, but deep down there was three or four layers deep. He found something completely different. So he gets crap from people. They give him hassles and stuff because he found it and he's revealing it, right? But then there's other people that are higher up in these three major religions that says, well, yeah, he's right, and they left him alone, sort of thing. He's right because sooner or later that's going to surface to the truth, right? Come to the truth. And everyone's going to know. Yeah, they said he's telling the truth. We always knew that it was under there, right? This hidden text, which goes back 3,000 to 5,000 years older than these Masoretic texts, or these texts in Hebrew. Yeah, so they break his contract, they withhold his books. He's got no more publishing contract, all that sort of stuff. So he goes around and he says, this is what I found, through interpreters, of course, that there's a completely different story. And you got the ancient Sumerian, Akkadian, Babylonian, Assyrian, right, all in cuneiform, right? It's all mythical about gods coming down from the skies and crafts and stuff like that, and creating human beings, slave workers from the Neanderthal that was already on the planet, because they needed gold for their planet, like the ozone layer was depleting and the planet would have died and all this sort of stuff. So they were scaredy cats, didn't like the dark, so they created these beings using their genetics, DNA, whatever, splicing and all that sort of stuff, and they came up with these beings apparently that went down these dark holes and got them the gold, saved their planet, etc., etc., right? All preserved and written, because they're written down in the cuneiform on tablets and stuff like that, right? So you got that one, and then you got people all over the place saying, this is what Jesus said, this is what God said, this is Bible stuff, blah 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 blah. Right? If you don't believe it, you're going to go to hell and all this sort of stuff. If you don't, you're a Satan, you're a devil, you're a homosexual, you're a transvestite, whatever they can dream up, right? And try and pin on you. You look at these scriptures and you find, if you compare it with, say, ancient manuscripts or the translations of ancient manuscripts in the original languages, Assyrian, Aramaic, Ashurt, Ktav Ashuri, Lshana Suppraya, Lshana Atiqa, all that. Even the Koine Greek, because they're all akin, right? You'll find out it's a completely different story. Like, it's been translated wrong. But everybody says, "Oh, I'm a King James only," or KJV onlyist. And that's the truth. Blah blah. It's never been changed. That's God's every word, all that sort of stuff. But then you find these contradictions, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and that was like written in 1611 in Shakespeare speak. Who speaks Shakespearean today? Who fully understands it? Yeah, all that sort of stuff. I see people going around going in thee thou, beginning thou, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, but even if they put it into English, because of these different where it originally comes from, right? The Hebrew text, and then the Greek, and then the Olde Germanic, and then the Old Latin, and then into English, right? So you get all these versions that are stemming from that. Okay, supposedly all corrupted and all that sort of stuff, because everybody was a Roman Catholic monk or whatever. So people are revealing that it's originally all Aramaic, Roman Catholic, right? So have a look at that. And then you've got the Sabbaths, Seventh-day Adventists and the Sunday people, churches. Seventh-day Adventists saying, the true Sabbath is on Saturday, and the Jews apparently, it's on Saturday. They use a Gregorian calendar to determine when their Sabbaths are, and they're all on a Saturday, which is incorrect, because they're using a Gregorian and not the lunar solar calendar, and not the actual Bible, and all that sort of stuff. So you've got that to find the true Sabbath, like the Lord's Day, doing race on Sunday. That's not the Lord's Day, and all this sort of stuff, right? There's so much more that I could show you, right? It would probably take about a week or 2 weeks or whatever. So I'm taking my time with it. So that's basically what I'm doing, because I see on certain chat sites and religious rooms they're all fighting with each other. Oh, we're the one, we're the chosen one, we've got the right Bible, you're nothing, you're Satan, you're the devil, you're a transvestite, whatever they can come up with, right? And they're just constantly fighting each other over it. None of them are right. I don't reckon any of them are right, because they've got Americanized modern translations. Okay, there might be some truth in it, but if it's coming from this one entity and it's been corrupted, well then, if it points that you are getting it all from one entity or one organisation, right, or through them, whatever, then what say you, So I basically, because I'm sick of these people fighting over oh, we're the one, we're the number one, you're the devils, you're this, you're that. They make up lies about you, You might do a typo. Oh, there you go, it's the devil writing and all that sort of crap. Whatever they can think of. Oh, you're going to burn in hell because of whatever. All this crap, And you've got Jewish people saying, Safeway said like here. Read from here, right? Which I actually did on a religious, in a religious room. Okay, a Jewess said to me, that's rubbish. So it says Breetah, or creation, or Breetah or Genesis, right? Breetah or creation is the real name of the book of Genesis. Rubbish, right? That's BS, she reckons. The word comes to us from the scribal language of the Jewish people. Rubbish, It's bull cracker, right? Then they say this is the name of the first book of the scriptures. Bull crap, It's like, okay, you're a person who says you don't speak Hebrew, but you get taught by a rabbi. So how the hell do you know what these words mean? Right? You don't. But they make out they do. Alright? And then they get angry. And they start calling you a moron, class joke, whatever, whatever they can dream up. So I do a typo, and that's, got him. Got him. Well, you can't speak English properly or something. But I've got maybe semi-gorilla fingers, and if I have a keyboard, I can't see the damn letters sometimes. So I have to paint them back on or whatever. So they say, it's complete rubbish. My rabbi taught me. And I thought, you're probably rabbi from, the first, after the Pharisees, those rabbis. And then rabbi, to get down to your modern days. And who are you getting it all from? A rabbi who's probably making stuff up. Oh, there is no afterlife, if he does or whatever. Or there is no this, there is no that, we're in the Old Testament translated in English. It says this and that, right? Oh no, that's the Christian version of it. All these excuses, though. So yeah, so here's creation, Genesis, right, from the original Aramaic, Lshana Atiqa, Suppraya, Ktav Ashurt or Ashuri, and it says here Victor Alexander, right? This is his translation of the Old Testament. Will utilize the cuneiform manuscripts discovered by archaeologists in Mesopotamia in the late 19th century AD. It's Henry Layard and his friend Razam or something. Yeah. The Ashuri king Ashurbanipal, during his 7th century, he was a real tablet worm. You know, like he got bookworms, he was a tablet worm. He wanted them all and wanted to learn them all. He was a really good reader. Created a library. During his 7th century BC reign out of Nineveh, sent out emissaries to the southern region, the land of Shinar. Yeah, that'd be southern Iran. Yeah, something like that. Sent out emissaries to the south region, or the land of Shinar, Sumer, and Chaldea, Babylonia. Because the Jews were released from there, right? You know, they were captive. Who captured them? But yeah, the Assyrians went there, invaded, and then got all these Jews. Babylonians, I think, yeah, had them. And then the Jews were rescued by, they were invaded by, the area was invaded by the Assyrians, who then took them, and then gave them a hard time, religious-wise, you know, all that sort of stuff. But then King Cyrus from Persia came along and set them free, so they could go back to their homeland and practice whatever they do, right? And so they honoured them by giving them gifts, which is on the wall relief. One of those temples on the video in Persia, right? His temple, whatever. He had to walk up this long ramp with these presents, okay? And say thank you, whatever. Yeah, it's on the wall relief. All these different people from different nations, kings or whatever, coming up and giving this one king presents because he set them free to be able to do the religious thing, right? Because the Assyrians were hard hats and wouldn't let them do it, and apparently the Babylonians were hard hats before them. So yeah, so if it wasn't for him, yeah, okay. So here it is down here. Where were we? Okay. Victor N. Alexander's translation of the Old Testament will utilize the cuneiform manuscripts. Epic of Creation, tablet 1500 BC, Ashurbanipal Library, British Museum, London. Will utilize the cuneiform manuscripts discovered by archaeologists in Mesopotamia in the late 19th century AD. The Ashuri king Ashurbanipal, during his 7th century BC reign out of Nineveh, sent out emissaries to the southern region, the land of Shinar, Sumer, in the Chaldea and Chaldea, Babylon. That's where Abraham came from, Chaldea, Ur of Chaldea. So he was not necessarily Babylonian, but he was freed, right? Freed from there. He was born. He was actually born in Chaldea. His parents came there. Okay, and then he was born there. Yeah. In search of the ancient epics such as the Epic of Creation, which included the story of Adam and Eve, the Epic of Gilgamesh, which included the story of Noah and the flood, he had them translated in the modern Ashurt language of his day. However, the originals were 3,000 years older, but also in cuneiform. Interestingly, the stories had been preserved essentially the same. I sort of got a doubt on that one, because if you look at these supposed ancient mythical texts, they're very different. Yeah? You've got Upancham, if that's his name's right, who's in the ark, which is round, on the water for 6 days. Okay, so compare it to the Noah story. Noah, right, on the water for 40 days and 40 nights, etc. Right, and it's different, obviously, isn't it? It's a very different story. They've adopted and adapted it. That's what I believe, right? He had them translated in the modern Aramaic language of his day. Okay, so his parents probably bought Aramaic to Ur of Chaldea, because they were freed by the Persian king Cyrus, right? And a lot of, apparently, a claim of a Persian that I was talking to, supposedly Aramaic, came from there. Yeah, you've got to check that out, prove it. all this sort of stuff, or they were heavily influenced by Zoroastrianism. I did read in one of those modern Bibles, in a footnote, not a footnote, introductory, forward, that a lot of Christianity has been influenced by Zoroastrianism. Okay, anyway, so ironically, by the time of Jesus Christ, or Yeshua Mashiach, the scriptures recorded during the Babylonian captivity 5 centuries before had become so narrowly interpreted that the scribes and Pharisees failed to recognize Jesus as the Messiah. Because they got their date wrong apparently. I think when it was went down to 0 BC, instead of going 1, they went 0. Okay, so they put them behind. And then after he died and they pulled in that big scroll, which took about 4 or 5 of them to carry and open, they looked at it and went, "Oh my gosh, we've killed the Messiah." And something on them pulled their whiskers off and whatever they do. Babylonian captivity 5 centuries before had become so narrowly interpreted that the scribes and Pharisees failed to recognize Jesus as the Messiah, prophesied by all those millennial religious records. Today, both Judaism and the Catholic Church have realized the contribution of the cuneiform tablets of the Ashuri to the understanding of the roots of the Bible. Both Judaism and the Catholic Church have realized the contribution of the cuneiform tablets of the Ashuri to the understanding of the roots of the Bible. So these Jewesses that denied it, you're a liar, because that's what it says there. Go and ask the heads of Judaism. Right, they probably won't tell you. I don't think the Catholic Church will either, but there might be someone in there that says, yeah, that's right. We might find a video that says, yeah, that's right. Okay, that both Judaism and the Catholic Church have realised the contribution of the cuneiform tablets of the Ashuri, that's the Assyrian people, to the understanding of the roots of the Bible. The archaeologists Sir Henry Austin, Layard and Humuz Rassam, Arab or Muslim, discovered the Ashurbanipal library intact in Nineveh and created the 50,000 tablets to the British Museum. In London, they are the pride of the British Museum, together with the oldest ancient Aramaic Old Testament, which dates back to the 4th century. Okay, so covered that, right? Let's go Genesis 1:4 or Breetah 1:4. Just have a quick peek.